Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. And I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can the underdog's on top. The underdog's on top. Go ahead, envy me. The underdog's on top. And I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me.
Rockin' like the
Rockin' like a six on top. Whole club rockin' like a six.
rockin' like the
Rockin' like a six on top. Whole club rockin' like a six. Rockin' like a six on top. The underdog's on top.
rockin' like the
Rockin' like a six on top.
What up? What up? Welcome to the In Off the Bench podcast. I am your host, Daniel Ball, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Jim Cross. Jim, what up, man?
Man, nothing. Excited. We've been talking to these baseball cats, but it's gymnastics time. We are heading to the showdown in Fort Worth. I'll be there, and nothing more exciting than getting the story of a gymnast that'll be competing there.
Absolutely. We got Addie Wahl joining us, a gym dog from, a big Georgia school. So I hear biggest school in Georgia is what we know. But Addie, before we get into it, obviously we got to pay some bills around here. Tonight's podcast is being brought to you by Jesus One Apparel. Jim, Jesus One, what's going on in the world?
Oh, man, when a guy like Mike Trout decides that he's going to wear it on public television, it's a big thing. But Daniel, he has worn it every game before the game for a week straight. So that obviously did huge things. Obviously, the USA apparel, just a lot of things. But, specifically in the baseball world, you're seeing these guys being very open and bold with their faith, and it's doing a lot for the brand. So exciting times. I know this. I wouldn't have wore this shirt if I'd known you were going to be wearing the exact same one. Why you always trying to match me, bro?
Samesies.
I couldn't find my red and black. I couldn't find my red and black one. That was the issue.
Hey, well, for those of you that want to match Jim and I, go to JesusOneApparel.com. IOTB 20 gets you 20% off your next order. They got color waves for days. They got the colors to match your team. They even got the Georgia Bulldog colors on there. So
let's go.
But also Chinook seeds, best sunflower seeds in the game, Jim. 8 flavors, mild to wild. And I saw you posting. You sent me a picture from Buc-ee's. Chinook seeds are in Buc-ee's.
Absolutely.
I still think Buc-ee's is overrated, but it is what it is.
Stop it. First of all, if they carry it in Buc-ee's, it's not overrated, but had to give me some seeds while I was there stopping through. Bucky himself signed off on these things, told him about the smoking toast, mix some barbecue, mix some cinnamon toast. Man, you won't be disappointed.
I mean, with them teeth, I bet Bucky could go through some seeds now. I bet he could tear them up. And finally, Old Dominic Distillery, olddominicdistillery.com. Find the spirit that works for you, bourbon, vodka, whiskey, gin. They got all your needs covered. And speaking of covered, we got all the bills covered. We can keep the lights on. We can continue to do this podcast. But the one thing that we got to do more than anything, the most important thing is welcome to the show, Addie Wahl. Addie, welcome.
Hi, thank you. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. We're going to get into your story, but I'd be remiss if I didn't just ask right off the top, like, what are the vibes like? I mean, the Gym Dogs headed to Fort Worth to the national championship semifinals. Like, what's it like around there?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is just so hype and like ready to go. It's almost kind of like we were expecting to make it though, like in a non cocky or anything way. We just have been working so hard as a team this season, and I don't know, it just felt different. It felt like everybody wanted it. Everybody was like, yep, we're going to Fort Worth, like we are going to Texas at the end. And even at regionals we were like, okay, this is not the last meet of our season, like we're gonna go all the way. And so now everybody's just so excited, and it's kind of, we can take a deep breath. I mean, there's still work to do, but we're so hype and ready to go.
I mean, Daniel, when you look at this, when you look at the teams that we talked about from the very beginning, they all, for the most part, fell into place except Alabama. Obviously, that was a shocker, but we had Georgia there. So I don't think this is a surprise to us.
Let's go. That's what I like to hear.
Not at all. I mean, with the tradition of Georgia gymnastics, I mean, it's hard not it's really hard to pick teams, but as we started looking through it, it was like there's no one better. I
Plus, they
mean,
got Mike
we had
Tomlin
to
in the
go with
crowd,
the
Daniel.
yeah.
You can't go
I
wrong with
mean,
Coach Tomlin.
that's no, not at all. Grit and grind, nose to the stone, hard worker, and that's what the gym dogs do. But Addie, we got to break it down. We got to talk to you about where you're from. Let's go back to home, Zanesville, Ohio.
Yeah.
What's there to do in Zanesville, Ohio? And what's the one thing if I was going to come? What should I do?
Oh goodness. Well, there's not much. I came from a very small town. There's a really okay. There's a really good donut place, and it got like named like best donuts in the world, like in the U.S. So I would highly recommend Donald's Donuts. So good, best donuts I've ever had in my life. So yeah.
Donald's Donuts. So
Mhm.
let me stop you. I didn't even mention food, but I was going to go into food, and I like that you brought up donuts. That's my favorite thing. My favorite
Perfect.
dessert is a donut. My favorite
Well,
breakfast food is a donut.
well,
So
if you're ever in
tell
Zanesville,
me a little bit about Donald's.
so
Tell
it's
me
just
about Donald's. What's up with Donald's?
it's just like a local place. It was founded by like two brothers, and they have I don't know if you like the cream filled donuts, but they have the best like long johns ever. Like chocolate long johns is like my go to donut, and they're like so good. They melt in your mouth. They like so good. We used to always go before church on Sundays to like get stuff for like the leaders, and it was the best thing ever.
So of course I'm trying to like lose weight, and we have
Oh
a
man.
guest come on here just talking about donuts. Like here we
I'm
go. Like,
sorry.
Daniel, it's all ruined now. I'm going to get donuts in the morning, bro.
That's it. That's it. I mean, I'm a fan of filled donuts. However, my spot here in Tampa, there's a place called Cosmic Donuts. And let me tell you something. They have a donut filled with peanut butter cream, and it's the best donut I've ever had.
That
The
don't sound
best. It's
good.
got powdered sugar sprinkled on top. It
You
is
people in
phenomenal.
Florida are
I'm
weird.
a peanut butter guy, and that is amazing. Amazing. So maybe they'll battle it out. Donald's and Cosmic just
Yeah,
going
never
head to
know.
head.
Florida, Georgia already
Don't
battling it out, so bring it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, very true, very true. So let's talk mom. Mom Jenny was a gymnast or gymnastics coach. So
Yeah.
to me, it's like you don't even have a choice in the matter. Like you're going to do gymnastics, and you're probably going to do it at an early age. So what age did she start you?
So funny enough, I like was always in the gym like as soon as I was born because she would coach. So I like actually started like class when I was like 2 years old. I was a very energetic child, so she just put me in it because I was like running all over the place. Like my mom would have to leave restaurants because I was so like crazy and like just wanted to flip everywhere. So she just put me in it, and I've just been in it ever since.
Hey, like I said, you didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
And it seems to be paying off because 2023 regional vault, bar, and floor and all around champion. When I read that, the real question really is what was going on beam? Like, did you just wanted to give somebody else a chance? I mean, that's nice of you.
I guess so. I never like beam's never been like my strongest event. Um, I can score pretty well in the others, but beam is always where trips me up a little bit. Not that I'm like bad at it, but yeah, we'll say that I just wanted to give it to somebody else.
Daniel, when you weren't here last week, Ella Cesario said what we are always thinking. We've tried not to say it as much as we can, but she was like, anyone whose favorite thing is beam, there's something functionally wrong with them. And I was like, that's how we feel. And I can only think back. I feel like Aaliyah Finnegan was the only person who actually said it was their favorite thing. And we told her that was nuts when she said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just you have to be wired differently if that's your favorite. But
Yeah.
needless to say, all of that aside, the beam, you not capitalizing on beam in 2023, the Georgia Bulldogs come calling. All right. So why did you choose Georgia?
Well, I had always like known about Georgia like growing up, and I didn't honestly really like pay them any mind until I started getting recruited, or the year before I started to get recruited. I was always allowed to go to 3 college camps like in the summer, and I always chose Florida, Georgia, and Ohio State. And at the time, Florida was like my dream school. That's where I wanted to go. Like it just like kind of fueled my fire to get to college gymnastics. But then when I started to actually go to the campuses, I felt the most at home at Georgia. I knew that it would be a great place to live even after college. I could stay here and, you know, figure out my life and raise a family, great place to raise a family, all of the things. And I just felt really wanted at Georgia. I never had to question like if they wanted me or like the coaches wanted me on the team or they needed me. And I had known that, how do I say this? Like Georgia Gymnastics had not been on the top for the past couple of years, like when I was getting recruited, but I saw something so special in it. And I always told my mom, I was like, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the rise. I want to be a part of the bringing it back to the top. And yeah, so that's why I chose it.
Well, we're getting close. We're getting close. We're a
Oh.
step in the right direction, and those steps are in Boots in Fort Worth. I
Yes.
mean, we're coming hard, but I got to ask Athens. They say Athens is like possibly the best SEC town there is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
I would say yes. I mean,
What makes Athens so special then?
I feel like just the community of like everybody in Georgia is a Bulldog fan. Like no matter where you go in Georgia, whether you're in Athens or not, like everybody is a Georgia Bulldog fan. And just Athens on game days is like not like anything I've ever seen in my life. Like there's tailgates everywhere, campus is covered with people. Just the culture and like I always meet people who are so helpful and just like outside of gymnastics, like I've met like great people. I've always heard that people are just like nicer in the South, and I think that's true, but I don't know. But
I mean, Randy said that he thought Athens was number 1, and he's a Tennessee fan. So that
oh
really says a lot. Our original host when we started this show, which by the way, Daniel, happy anniversary 6 years ago. You know, started this show
Aw.
6 years. Let's go.
Wow.
6 years.
Longest marriage ever. No, I'm just kidding. But let's get into it. You know, you said that Georgia wanted you. You love feeling wanted, and they showed that because you competed in all 12 meets as a freshman. But the biggest thing I always like to ask, no matter what the sport is, because it's such a learning curve when you get to college. What was the biggest thing you learned as a freshman?
Mm-hmm. I had to learn how to be a part of a team again. I came from a gym where I was the only level 10 gymnast. I didn't have any teammates. All of my teammates were younger than me. And I really had to learn what it looked like to compete for my team. And I think it was hard, but not hard at the same time because I loved all of my teammates my freshman year. It was an amazing team, and I couldn't have asked for a better team. But I didn't know how to be a good teammate because I had never really had teammates. So getting there and realizing that like we're not in competition with each other, like we're there to help each other, like help the program grow. I think that was the biggest learning curve for me. I struggled a lot with comparison my freshman year, just comparing myself to like my teammates and everything like that. And so I think just like getting over that was pretty hard and difficult.
Well, you did an amazing job, obviously, for your team. And then you go into sophomore season, you really take it up another notch. First All-American honors in vault and team co-MVP. Talk about that growth and progression, because you just talked about what you learned freshman year, but obviously you're helping the team in a big way, obviously, to be co-MVP. So just talk about that growth from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, so really just give credit to like Jesus because like without him like I could not have made it through my freshman year, and I had a very vulnerable moment with the Lord like right after my freshman year, and I was like, God, like I'm really struggling with comparing myself to my teammates, like all of these things like that I was struggling with, and I just heard him like say like rest, like I don't need you to try to be like anybody else, like I've created you differently and I've created you uniquely. And that's when I saw my teammates in a different light, when I was able to see them how Jesus sees them, not as like, oh, I'm competing with these people, where like essentially you are, because you want to make the lineup. There's only 6 girls on every event who makes a lineup, and there's 20 plus girls on a team. So I think just like taking a step back and realizing that these girls are not my competition, and I could see them for how Jesus saw them, and I was able to step into how God had created me to be as a gymnast. That's how I was focused, I was determined for the team, and I think that's how, you know, things fell how they fell last season. So
Daniel, I love that answer, that the growth came from seeing what she needed to do as a teammate and not as an individual, and continue to just be the best she could for the team. And that ultimately ended up being the best for herself. We don't get that answer a lot.
No, and the thing is too is it had nothing to do with vault, beam, floor, bars. It had nothing to do with any of that. It was something internal that could make her a better person for the people around her. And like that takes one very mature levels of thought, and just looking internally to see what can I do? Not about everybody else, not about how to physically get myself better. It's what can I do internally to make this thing go? And I think that's a huge marker for success for championship teams, is when players can do that.
And what her story reminds me of on the faith-based part, Daniel, is the Ohio State football team 2 years ago. When they started playing for each other, they said, let's not worry about wins and losses. Let's just go out there and play for each other, play for God, and glorify him in our play. And obviously that led to a championship. And so it's something about that culture. You remember when Jason Smith came on here and talked about, when you're playing for that higher power, it just takes some of that weight off, right? It's not so much. And I think, Addie, what, hearing you say that, it's just refreshing. And that's the kind of thing that rubs off on not just your teammates, but other girls in the gymnastics world when they see that. Obviously, I saw your video, and we'll get into faith in a minute, but that's the kind of thing that is good representation to other gymnasts, especially up and coming ones. But both those seasons end in regionals, and we talked about that feeling you had this year. Y'all advanced to Fort Worth. What do you feel like was the biggest difference between the last 2 years and this year that made this team so special?
I would say definitely like how I said before, like I feel like everybody was bought into the goal of we're making it to nationals. And honestly, I have to credit that a lot to our freshmen. Like our freshmen came in this year like ready to go. Like they are like some amazing girls, amazing athletes, and I think they really like put a fire in the rest of us that like, oh crap, like we have to get our game together. Not saying we didn't, but like we realized like, oh, we have to fight now to make a lineup, like we have to fight. And I think just like that determination and that grit and that fight is what made this year different. Like we weren't not even just looking at regionals, but this whole season, like I feel like we can describe it as like resilience. Like our team has been like so resilient. Like when one things went bad, we haven't let that stop us, and I think that's what got us to day 2 this year, and then got us to nationals. So
Yeah, and Daniel, that's another interesting thing. Her bringing up freshmen, gymnastics is like the sport that I think of the most, where freshmen can have such a major impact. It doesn't have to be an all upperclassmen lineup. You've seen it the last few years in the teams that have won. So, that's a big point that you bring up, and how those freshmen can make such an impact one way or the other. But, something else I've learned about gymnastics just through these 5 years we've been doing it is y'all don't pay attention who you're going against. It's a unique sport, right? Like, because ultimately it's about what you and your team do. It's not about who you're going. And so you have LSU, Florida, and Stanford. You're in the early session. Do you think at all about those teams, or is it just all business and about what your team has to do?
I mean, I think you can step back and recognize that they are amazing teams. Like when we're not competing against them, we'll watch them. Like if LSU and Florida are competing, we'll watch them. So we know obviously that they're like incredible. But I think also too, we know that we're incredible as well. And going into nationals, like we're not focused on anybody else but us. And we say all the time, like staying in our bubble during competitions. So I think as we like continue to do that, we're gonna be successful in the end. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just if you do what you're supposed to do, then it'll take care of the rest as a team. And so what they're over there doing, and it's interesting. Whenever I've been to meets, the way y'all have like that 1,000-yard stare, y'all are just locked in. Just you even said y'all pay attention, but I don't even hardly see you. Y'all may look over, glance over for a second, but it's not like you're just watching routines.
yeah,
Um,
no.
and so, obviously you see the LSU hat, but Daniel, I wanted to say on here, you know how I am. Guests hold more weight than my fandom, and so Georgia will now have two guests. We only have one from LSU. Obviously, have 11 from Oklahoma, but they're not in this particular battle. So, Daniel, I'm gonna have to ride Gym Dogs when I'm there. Gonna have to.
Let's go.
I find it funny though, Addie, that he chooses to wear that hat, but yet he's choosing the Gym Dog.
I taught class before this, and I rushed home. And when I got home, I had to find something, and I grabbed this shirt and hat. I don't know where my red and black St. Louis Cardinals hat is. That's what I'm planning to wear. I don't know where my red and black Oklahoma G's1 shirt is, which would have passed for a Georgia shirt. She'd have never known. Couldn't find any of it. I'm in shambles, Daniel. I'm just here. That's all I can bring
I
to
didn't
you.
even notice your hat until he said something.
Thanks, Daniel.
It's the little things. It's the little things.
Look, I did. If you don't believe me, though, I did it last year in Fort Worth. You can see the pictures with me and Ella Murphy and Mackenzie Eastep. I'm wearing the red and black Jesus1 shirt against LSU, and we had what do we have like 14 from that team, Daniel. And so I was like, hey, wherever we have the most guests, I just have to support. And we only had like 3 from LSU, so I stand by my word. But let's get into the faith aspect that we're going to talk about. You obviously you talked about it a little bit and how important it is. I couldn't be more proud seeing someone like you, seeing someone like Brooke using y'all's platform for God's glory is such an amazing thing. Just talk about how much he's played a role in your life in gymnastics.
Well, I would not be where I'm at right now without Jesus. I think I would have just struggled a lot with anxiety and comparison, and it would have really destroyed my life and my career. And I grew up a pastor's kid, so my dad is still a pastor. So that was always kind of like instilled in me when I was younger. So I used to go to these youth camps and during the summer, and he said something one of the pastors said something one time that has stuck with me like forever. He said when you do what you love, invite God into it. Like God wants to do what you love as well. Like God gave us hobbies. God gave us things like things that interest us for a reason so that we could glorify him through it. And so just starting from my freshman year, I've always made it a priority. Like, this is not for me. This is for him. Like, I know that gymnastics is just an outlet to reach so many different people. And I always say, like, God, like, I don't want this to be about me, but I want it to be about you. And I told him that last year before I went to nationals. I was like, God, if, like, the day before nationals, I prayed, God, like, if you elevate me on a stage, I promise I will do it to glorify you. And he did more than I could have ever asked, think, or imagined what, that verse says in the Bible. And it would be a dishonor and it would be bad for me to not give him credit where credit is due because he is the only one who has given me peace through this whole journey. I used to look at validation through, what my coaches said about me, what my teammates said about me, and just realizing that, his opinion matters more about me than anybody else's. I think that's where I had a breaking point, and it would just be a disservice to minimize that.
I can't wait to clip that because Addie, you have no idea. We teach a student group on Wednesday nights, and just last week the conversation came up, and there was a girl who played basketball and volleyball, and she brought up how she feels like she's not giving God enough time because of her extracurriculars. And my wife explained to her exactly what you said, that God gave her those talents and about glorifying Him through those things. And so it led to a conversation through the whole group or everything. But what you just said is exactly what they need to hear, because they shouldn't ever feel bad that they have these talents and that they're doing these things, right? And so that was really good. And then the other thing I thought about, we had a baseball player on recently, Tyler Milet from Tennessee. He brought up his walk-up song's a worship song, and he said, the least I can do is give glory to Him, and my one opportunity for everything He's done for me, it's the least I could do. And so I thought about that, and so it's just really cool to see what these collegiate athletes, including yourself, are doing right now. I feel like this generation that y'all have going is on fire, right? I'm seeing more and more of it, and it's inspiring the younger generation that includes my son and that student group I'm talking about. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So last thing I have to ask this question because usually Ava, when she's with us, doesn't matter what the sport is, she wants to talk uniforms. For me, this one's actually fun because I do think red on black. Daniel, you remember my first truck? I had the red and black Chevy. It's my favorite probably color combo, even as an LSU fan. And so I've seen y'all's Leos. Can't go wrong. But for you, what is your favorite one?
Oh goodness, there's so many good ones. But I do like when it's red and black. We have a lot of I feel like we have a lot of black Leos with red on, a little bit of red on them. But we have one that's red on the top with a black bulldog, and then the bottoms are black. So it's the one where
it's the one that you stuck that 9.95 vault in, isn't it?
Maybe it was that one. I honestly can't remember.
I know that one was red. I know for a fact when I was cutting that video that you were definitely wearing the red in the center.
Yes, that was the one I almost got a 10 in. I was so close. But the one I'm talking about is we wore it last year to regionals. So that's my favorite because it's red and black, and I like mixing it up a little bit. So
Daniel, I mean, I know you agree with me. I haven't seen a bad one that they wear. There's some that I see. We just had Ella on, and we were talking about Clemson, and she admittedly said they have some that she's not a fan of. But I haven't really seen a Georgia one that I just like.
I mean, if you look good and you feel good, you're probably going to perform well. So, I mean, the look matters in the overall scheme of it. It matters, especially in gymnastics because it's such a all eyes are on you, and you want to have it's the completion of the package. You have the skill, you have the performance, and you look really good doing it. So I think it's just part of it. I think it's a big part of it, and you guys have a great kit. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of the color schemes that you got.
Right.
I do have to ask, as we're preparing, obviously Florida, Georgia, LSU, Stanford, 4 juggernauts, but the problem is it's only April 7th, and that doesn't happen until April 16th. So is the anticipation killing you, or is it, yes, we need this amount of time to prepare?
I would, if I had it my way, I'd be let's just do it this weekend and be done with, not done with it, but let's do it. I remember even before regionals this year, I was getting antsy because I was all right, I'm just ready to go. I don't like to wait. When something's on my mind, I like to do it. But I'm trying to take my time and be patient and let my body rest a little bit before we go so I can be good. But I would say the anticipation is killing me a little bit.
I think from a faith standpoint, be where your feet are, and this is where you need to be, because I think a lot of times as athletes, the season moves so fast. And even in competition, there's pressure, and even in the meet, I'm sure it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
It's nice, and this is a very purposeful challenge, is to reflect and appreciate the actual moment of what you've accomplished and what you can accomplish, because once the 16th rolls around, it's going to speed up very quickly again, and then you're going to be in the fight. And so when you're in the fight, a lot of times it's hard to reflect and really appreciate the moment for what it's worth.
If anybody ever questioned that you were a national championship winning coach, you just shut it down with that right there. Like that was nice.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I know a little bit about a lot of things. I don't know a lot about a lot of things. Maybe one day, but
he you know what though, he's got no loyalty to his team and his brand, because he said he'd sell me his national championship ring for $100,000.
Oh.
He said he's got a family to support. The money talks.
Oh.
It ain't about the ring. It's about the memories, the experience, the brotherhood, all those other things. The ring is just a trophy that represents what the season was.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Then you can just gift it to me, because I'm going to walk around town and act like I won something.
No, because I know what I can sell it for, so I ain't giving it to nobody. I mean, it was earned. Don't get me wrong, but
hey, look, when I walked around with that championship belt around my shoulder when I was in Omaha, it brought a lot of attention. I can only imagine what that ring would garner.
I mean, I don't wear it often, but when you do wear something like that, it gains a lot of attention, and but it's nice.
Hopefully Addie will
nice
know
to
that
reflect
feeling soon enough.
I hope so. Yeah.
Soon enough. What are you guys doing? Like, it's unfathomable for me to believe that you guys are learning anything new and getting better. Like, so like, what is it that you're doing between now and go time?
Yeah.
Is it just recovery and maintenance? Is it just, I'm just trying to, because it's gymnastics, unlike other sports. In order to practice the skills of gymnastics, even the practice part, even if you slow it down and work on little things, there's still this level of I could injure myself. And I think at this point, that's the name of the game, is keeping everybody healthy. So how do you find that balance of having a smooth practice, a good practice, a purposeful practice, but also err on the side of caution where nobody's getting hurt?
Yeah. It can be a tricky thing, because I think right now we're like, okay, it's time to go, go, go. But especially this week, I think our coaches and our athletic trainer are really being smart about the numbers that we're doing in the gym, like what we're doing, the amount we're doing. Just like, for example, like on floor, like I'm not really tumbling on the floor right now. I'm tumbling into like a softer surface to like help my body like just still be doing the skills, but at the same time, like giving me a little bit of rest. And then just making sure my recovery is really, really on its A game right now. Making sure I'm drinking enough water, just everything that I can do in my power to make my body last for another couple of weeks. So
Daniel, I'd have them all in bubble wrap for a week. They ain't doing nothing.
Well, I learned something last weekend at my daughter's practice. So a lot of the girls are doing things in the foam pits, and they're not practicing landings, they're not practicing it. It's everything is into a pit. Everything is, falling backwards. And what I learned was it is such a violent act to stick landings and practice landings that sometimes, in order to just practice the skill, like you were saying, and be cognizant and aware and rest the body and the joints from that violence that you have when you try to stick these landings, is you do all the skills, but you fall into a pit. You land into a pit. So there's no like bracing. There's no like stress put on joints and things from sticking landings, because I started thinking about it. Like, that's a lot of like movement, and like, of course, like that's landing all day long. Like eventually, like that's gotta wear on you. So
yeah,
I feel you when you're saying, you're doing a lot of work into the pitch. You're not really stressing a lot of joints, and you're just trying to keep yourself prepped and ready.
Yeah.
what point do you guys turn it on and go, all right, now we need to work on everything. We need to stick landings. We need to do our routine full out, like, or do you even do that now because you've done it so many times, you're ready?
Yeah, we have these things called inner squads, so it's like a mock meet. So we'll do them like two. Well, I think we have like two before we actually go to nationals. So I'm pretty sure we'll have one on Thursday and then we'll have one on Sunday. So those are more of like our heavier days. So I think they're just more strategic about like, okay, if we're doing everything this day, we're not going to do as much the before or the day after. So I mean, we're still, because gymnastics is such a tricky sport where you can't completely stop, or like it'll be like you like lose it, or you have to make sure you're getting the reps and you're getting everything in, which a lot of us now it's like second nature, but I guess it's just strategic practice plans.
Let me
So
ask you this: is it weird? I think about Friday night heights, and that's typically time, and then you may have on Sunday. You're competing in the middle of the afternoon on Thursday. Is that going to feel at all weird, or is it just it's still routine?
I think it's routine now because we did do that at regionals, and we've had a couple double weekends where we were able to like practice that. So if like we're competing on Thursday, we'll just push everything back maybe like a couple of days or something. So it's not weird now. At first, maybe my freshman year was a little weird, but now it's not really.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be exciting, but the anticipation of the next, what is it, 9 days?
9 days.
That's I don't envy that because that's tough mentally and it's tough from an anxiety standpoint of just I just want to do it. I'm ready. Let's just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
But good things come to those who wait, and we've waited long enough to get to this point in the episode. Addie, we get to play a game. You ready to play a game?
Oh, yes.
Boy, let me tell you, Daniel, this game tripped up Ellis Cesario bad. This exact same list.
Well, let me tell you. Have you ever heard of blind rankings?
I don't think so.
Well, you're very smart, and it is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to rank a list of IOTB gymnasts that have been guests on the show.
Okay.
But you're going to get one at a time, and you're going to rank them 1 to 7.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
So
okay.
I'll give you one, and you've slotted in 1 to 7. Then I give you the next one. You slot it in wherever you think it goes, but you just don't know the names until I give them to you. So
Okay.
best of luck with this.
Oh gosh.
Look, hey Daniel, it was I rearranged the order, but it was so funny because I was like, oh, I love her because she showed that she was a gymnastics fan outside of just her meets. Like she was watching everybody when every chance to get. She ended up talking about her, whatever. But I love her. I got to put her here. I love her. And then she's like, oh wait, and she's like, I don't have that open no more. And just her whole list ended up upside down.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Is 7 like the best?
It's the worst.
Oh, 7's the worst.
One.
The best.
Yep.
Okay.
And we might as well get rid of that term, the worst, because there's not
yeah.
a worse one on this list. This is this is not going to be easy. All right, so we'll start with the first one. The first gymnast we mentioned earlier. Jim is representing the hat of the school that this young lady went to. She is a national champion, Kaya Johnson.
Yes. Oh, legend. I love her. Oh no. I'm gonna put her at like a 3.
All right, Kaya's going at a 3. Next one, Audrey Davis.
Oh, she's so good too.
I mean, you're gonna say that for every one of them. You're gonna go, man, she's good. She's good.
You know what she's thinking, Daniel? I did this the other day, and with a baseball player, and it was easy for him because he did it based on who they played for. He's like, don't like them. He's going to number 7.
That's very true. That's such a guy way to look at it, though.
I'm gonna put her at number 2.
Number 2. Ooh, okay. That's big. That's big. This could go south for you, or you might know what you're doing. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Next one is Shay Campbell.
Why can't I remember who that? She go to Bama?
No, UCLA.
Oh,
UCLA.
that's awkward. I'll put her out of 7 just because I didn't know who she was.
I mean,
She's
I
most
would
notably known,
agree.
even though she made it to the national championship herself with UCLA. Most known for when she was with LSU competing as an individual, and her floor routine went pretty viral.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look her up now. Wow, I feel really bad. Okay.
I mean but that's the way to go. Like if you don't recognize the name, then obviously that's got to be a 7.
That's
Um,
SEC versus West Coast. That's what that is.
Yeah.
that's I feel you because that West Coast time, like I don't watch as much on the West Coast as I should. Let's just be real.
Interesting because we're going right there.
Yeah, and here we go. West Coast, Maya Luzon.
Wait, who's that? I don't know who that is.
She's last year's Pac-12 or says ACC then ACC Gymnast of the Year from Cal.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'll go ahead and slot her at 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, she'll know these next 3, and if she doesn't, her gymnastics card is getting pulled.
Oh no.
All right. Here's the next one. Luisa Blanco.
Oh, I love it. Oh, okay.
You got 1, 2, 4, 5.
Now,
That's what
2
you
was
got.
taken by Audrey Davis.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got 1, 4, and 5.
I'll put her at 4.
4 for Luisa. She won't be happy about that. But
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Hey, she went to Bama, so we're rivals. So
There you go.
Well, if that's your rationale, here we go. Okay, next one is Aaliyah Finnegan.
Oh goodness.
The question is, do you think she's the best gymnast of these last 2?
I don't know who the last one is. That's the problem.
I do. Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
You got to slot this one, and then I'll tell you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll put Aaliyah at 1.
No.
No.
He sucked you in by doing this because
I stacked those
this
2
next
in a
one
row on purpose.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the initials, and I'm gonna see if you can figure out. All right, so at number 5, that leaves JB.
Oh, Jordan Bowers. Oh, dang it. Oh,
That is it.
dang, I would have put her at 1.
I think anybody would have,
Yeah.
but Ella actually stuck to her guns. She had Finnegan at 1 and was saying that was her favorite gymnast to watch that wasn't on her team. So she did not put Jordan at 1 on purpose.
Oh, wow. No, Jordan was just unlike any other gymnast I've ever seen in my life.
It's a tough game, and we're lucky that we don't have to play it. We can just make people play it.
Yeah.
No, there is no wrong answers. Like he said, they're all amazing. It's just a way we played this or that for a long time through the first few seasons, and we saw the makeshift project was doing these blind rankings, and it just puts you on the spot, and you have to do this. And we're like, we're gonna start making guests play this, and so why not? But I will say this: we've been blessed on this show, Daniel. She actually makes the 50th gymnast we've had. It's not like there's a bad one. You could have went with any number of names; it wouldn't have mattered.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Only the second gym dog, though. We've been slacking.
Hey.
We gotta do better. Gotta do better.
Gotta do more gym dogs.
That's right.
Before we let you out of here, is there anything you want to plug or promote that we haven't already talked about?
For myself or for just like my team or
Yourself, your team, anything you want, the opportunity.
Okay, I have two things. One, I think Brooke has been on this podcast before, but she has a podcast called Beam Boldly. She talks to a bunch of athletes with like about their faith and stuff. Amazing. I love that she does that. So go follow Beam Boldly on YouTube. And then also I have a YouTube channel where I vlog and do like behind the scenes stuff. It's just Addie Wahl. So yeah, go subscribe to that.
On it,
Let's
Daniel.
go.
On it.
Let's go. Hey, my daughter will be watching your YouTube. It is wild to me, Jim. And I just like had this epiphany yesterday. And I don't know where you, Addie, where you sit with this. You might be on the same boat, but like back in the day, this is how old Jim and I are. We would turn the TV and we'd have our favorite channels. Like we knew what shows were coming up. That's no longer a thing. Like if I turned on the TV and like we were watching like cable TV, like my daughter couldn't tell you a single channel, but she knows her YouTube channels. And like that is her TV. It's just wild to me. It is just wild. But she'll definitely be checking it out. I'll be checking it out. Best of luck. If there's anything we can do for you along the way, reach out to us. And hey, remember, take it all in. Appreciate the moment that you have, but when April 16th rolls around, lace them up and go get after it.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. That is Addie Wahl, everybody. If you like hearing Addie's story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like, share the podcast on Facebook. Head over to YouTube, like, subscribe, notifications. That way you're first to know when new content is dropped. Jim, new content all the time. What's coming up? What's on deck?
Man, I knew you were going to do that, and I got to remember his name because it's not an actual player. No, it's different for me. So Ava wanted to, you know how Wake Forest does these amazing videos with their baseball team? Yep. So Chris Fowler, who's got an award, like it's like an Emmy type thing for that, you know, creative department. We're going to bring him on and talk about how he does all this production and content. So it's going to be something different tomorrow night. It's not going to actually be an athlete. It's going to be someone who's covering them and recording them and making these amazing videos. The biggest thing I want to know, Daniel, is the scoring, the music. He finds just the right song, it seems like, every time.
They got a knack for this. I don't know how they do it, but they're like very good at the details. And I think the music piece is just one of the finest details that you have in editing and media that really like captures it all. Like, you hit me with a good song, I'm going to watch it. It could be 32 minutes long, and I'll watch it. So, that's just me. Well, it's going to be a good one tomorrow night. Y'all join us and stick around as always. Remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We are out.